So what happens next in this case? We're joined this morning by criminal defense attorney Randy Reep. And you and I, we've been talking just about what all of this means. What is the next step? So Zimmerman turned himself in yesterday. What happens when he appears for the first time in court today?
The whole purpose of today is his first appearance is a constitutional requirement that you be before an impartial magistrate within generally 24 hours. It's really a bond question. Will he get a bond? Will he be able to post that bond, therefore allowing for his release before the trial?
Now, Angela Corey, in the news conference yesterday, said that she went with, as we know, second-degree murder. Does this mean that she has some pretty good evidence that she can use in court? What does this mean with her going for that charge?
I thought she brought it out pretty well. It's not that she's trying to get the highest charge. She's trying to apply the evidence that she has to the law and provide the correct law, or the correct charge in this case. And it really does look like a murder, too. I think the question ultimately is going to come down to kind of Zimmerman's intent when he was doing it with a depraved heart. Would a reasonable person know his actions were going to result in the likely death of somebody else? Those are sort of the elements of murder, too, that are going to have to be vetted out, and I think that's going to ultimately be the jury question.
Now, what's going to be the challenge for his defense team, especially with them being new to his case?
You know, candidly, the law offices of Randy Reep, we don't even normally get a case until the arrest has happened. That's how a case is usually born. Okay. So they're actually on the right timeline. What I think the challenge, though, to their firm is there's been a lot of information provided out. Information, frankly, from a legal standpoint, doesn't mean a whole lot. It's when it becomes evidence, and how they're going to prevent that information from translating into evidence is by pretrial activity, going, hey, these statements aren't valid or aren't useful to the case. They should never even get in. So what actually the jury's going to be deciding is not going to look an awful lot like what you've seen on the media reports.
What about the website and the information that he put out there and asking for money for himself, for his defense, for his family? What about his calls to State Attorney Angela Corey's office? It seems that the lawyers who quit basically said, we can have control of him. Now that he's in custody, they will have more control?
And if I can be extremely candid, I will tell you that him being put in cuffs and being put in the Seminole County jail yesterday, he's going to have some control over him now as far as his attorneys go. I should suggest that that's an attention step, and he'll be following the advice a little bit better of his attorneys now. I don't know why he didn't before. There's different bedside manner different attorneys have, but now he knows he's facing he's facing life in prison now, and I'm sure they have his attention, and he'll follow their instructions.
Many people are asking, can he get a fair trial? And do you think that this trial could possibly come here to Jacksonville?
I think the idea that the venue will change from Sanford is probably, that's a reasonable projection. I've seen the town. It's not the world's biggest. It could come here. It's not necessarily that it will come here because Angela Corey's on the case. It could go a myriad of places. I think a fair trial is available. I mean, O.J. Simpson got a fair trial, and that was, notorious case as well. I think they're going to find an impartial jury. Where they find it's a question. I mean, Jacksonville is a possibility. It still could happen in Sanford. I just think based on the size, a change of venue is certainly reasonable.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. And, of course, we'll talk with you once again as the weeks go by, weeks and months of this trial. Thanks so much.